Golly, that's good.
I haven't found my first Blanton's.
Wow. That's different. I really like that.
Peychauds or Peychauds or Peychaud.
Yeah, now I'm gorgeous.
Although probably fuzzier was better.
Okay. So this is not what I expected. Hey, it's Thursday. How's it going? It's our weekly banter, our time of having some fun, and tonight we're going to try something different, and I'm excited about it because it has come recommended to me like bigly. A friend of mine in one of the Bourbon pages, Randy Robbins, was nice enough. He and I have chatted a little bit through Messenger, and he is, I don't know if he's like a brand ambassador or what it is, but he loves this stuff and he knows all about it, and he continues to be, you know, an evangelist for Frey Ranch. So I got some, and it's been here for, I don't know, a couple of months. And I finally decided it's time to get this sucker opened up, these suckers opened up. So Tom is watching. Hey, Tom, and Terry, and Kevin, Charles, Jordan, hey, from Florida. Cool. Good day, good sir. So welcome, everybody. I'm expecting maybe some new viewers tonight because I was telling you, Randy is kind of an evangelist. Well, he knows the owners of Frey Ranch, and there's a chance that they might be watching. So I'm going to try to be as kind as possible while also being truthful. The neat thing about this is it's got a great story. And I'll just kind of open this up while I'm... Gavin is watching. Hey, sir, how are you? Terry. Yes, sir, Frey Ranch. So this is the bourbon. This is a Fallon, Nevada, mid-central... I love that sound. That's a heavy top. And I'll tell you about why that's so heavy in a minute. It's a mid-central Nevada whiskey that comes from a 2,000-acre farm east of Reno in the Sierra Nevada watershed. It's a decade older than the state itself. The farm itself has been there for 165 years, and Nevada hasn't even been a state for that long. Kind of cool. Hey, Cody, how are you, man? Let's see. Frey Ranch does everything themselves. They grow the ingredients. They do their own malting there. You know, we have malted barley. They do that there. The way they say it, they're grown, distilled, matured, and bottled on site, and it is. Now, some craft distilleries are sourcing their juice. MGP, Heaven Hill, they don't. They do their own. They grow their own crops. As a matter of fact, some of the stuff that they grow is done in such a way that it gives them a lesser yield, but it has something to do with the nitrogen, I guess. But it gives them a better crop. So they wanted quality over quantity when it comes to the grains that they do on their site. They used to sell their grain around the world for beer and whiskey making, but have since settled in on a specific way to do it themselves. It's also non-GMO grain. So, okay. Now, so this is somewhat rare in the fact that they do a 4-grain bourbon. This has got a mash bill of 66.6% corn, 11.4% winter cereal rye, and they like to talk the fact that it's a slow-growing winter cereal rye. We'll get back into that here in a minute, too. 10% winter wheat and 12% two-row barley. It's new charred oak cask, of course, aged... Some places say 4 years, others say 5 years, others say that some of it's 4 and some of it's 5, so we're just going to say 5 years. But it's important to them to do it. A lot of craft distilleries don't go 4 years. They go under that. They have to add that age statement because of it if it's going to be a bourbon. But they go 4 to 5 years on theirs, which is great. That's also unusual for a craft. And the other thing I like about it is non-chill filtered. You know I like it unfiltered. So some of the things I read about this was that it had a really nice, silky, buttery mouthfeel. So I'm looking forward to get into this. Now I'm going to take a whiff of this now, because they say as I go through the stuff and I tell you more about Frey Ranch that the nose may actually change a little bit. Indeed, I got a lot of mint on that. I'm getting a really light tobacco, like a young tobacco. Cinnamon and caramel. The caramel is really there. It's playtime because I'm upstairs. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit while I go through the rest of this. So the bottle itself, stop! The bottle itself looks huge. This does not look like, I mean, look at the size of it in my hand. This does not look like a 750 milliliter bottle, but it is. I mean, this could be when I got these in the mail, I thought, geez, these got to be liters. They're not. It's a 750 milliliter, just a fifth, you know? So, but it's huge, and I am not the only one that noticed that. Other reviewers said the same thing, that, oh my gosh, the bottle is huge. The bottle is also very beautiful. It really stands out. It's elegant. You know, sometimes you look at these yellow labels and you're thinking, like mellow corn, you know, that looks like a throwback product. This looks really nice. It actually has metal inlaid in the glass here, and the topper is recycled metal. I believe it's bronze. So it's real metal, the real thing. It's not fake, it's not plastic, it's not wood. It's that's metal, and it's got the same engraving on the top as it does here. And then the label kind of looks like a belt buckle, and I understand that that is meant to kind of give homage to the fact that for generations, the family that has run this farm has been a group of hard workers. So the belt buckle kind of signifies a bit of honor towards that, which I really respect. I like these bottles, these family farms that reach back and know where they came from. I like that. And the bottle just looks great. Let's see. One thing unusual to the brand is because it's in Nevada. Now this is upper Midwest Nevada near Reno, but they still had to manufacture some of their own humidity in the rick houses. You've heard it's a dry heat when it comes to Nevada. It's more southern where Las Vegas is, but when you hear that about Nevada, but humidity is important to the distillation process. And when they weren't doing that, they came up with a dram that was kind of woody and oaky, and they had a lot of tannins in it, and it just kind of had that craft whiskey type sense about it, right? They went and they added humidity, and I don't know how much. I don't know how much humidity, but maybe, and it might even ebb and flow over the seasons, just like it does everywhere else. But they added some humidity to it, and it changed it completely. And it's supposed to really have made it more mature and more complex, and we're going to get into that here shortly. We'll find out about that. Also, the whiskey goes through both a continuous, if you're into this science part of this, you're going to dig this, goes through both a continuous still and pot still, which according to the company allows them to produce a large quantity continuous still while also being able to consistently take the heads, hearts, and tail cuts, which is better quality control that a pot still provides. In 2006, they became the first licensed distillery in Nevada since the advent of Prohibition. They started with vodka, which a lot of people do, and they distilled the first batch of bourbon in 2015, released it in 2020. All right? So there you go. This had to happen. Dan, I know, right? I don't know why I sat on this so long. I just had so many others. Hey, Austin, how are you? I just had so many other ones I have to try. I have a lot. I have a lot. Okay. All right, so I've given this a few minutes. It hasn't been 10 minutes or anything like that, but I gave it a few. Let's give it a little twirl, and I'll give it another taste. I did not write down any of the notes that I got from any other reviewer. I only wrote down some of the story points and some of the things that were interesting about the place, and I didn't write down anything else. So any notes that you hear from me are going to be original. It didn't come from anybody else. All right. Also, they did not send me this. I bought this, and it was interesting. It had to go through a series of private couriers to get here. So, and the guy who dropped it off was really friendly. I'd been talking to them through text and through email, and I mean, they were really good about letting me know when they were coming and helping me, schedule, and really worked out nicely. And the guy that was driving was just super nice. Super nice. All right. Okay, so just in the amount of time that it's set there, and I've been swishing it, it it definitely brought out more of the traditional bourbon notes. There's a honey there now. The caramel's really there. The cinnamon popped. It's got kind of a. I'm getting the rye. I'm getting a little bit of that greenness of the rye. There's still a bit of a mint overtone to it, spearmint. It's a pleasant nose. I don't know that it's something that is like bowling me over. It's very nice. And I do find the complex mash bill to be present in this. I'm getting a little bit of that rye. I'm getting, some of the bourbon notes. It's a really nice balance, actually. All right. Here we go. All right. So, first, the mouthfeel is very nice. Silky. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's buttery, but it's very silky, very smooth mouthfeel. The bloom. Now, for those of you new to the program, first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm KC. I'm a certified bourbon steward, and one of the things that I talk about is a bloom. Now, the bloom is a coffee term, but I use it for bourbon because I like the connotation of it. The bloom for me is when you get that alcohol, that ethanol burn, somewhere in your mouth. Often it starts in the center of your tongue and it blooms its way out to the sides. Sometimes you get it on the side of your tongue and it blooms its way in. Sometimes you don't get any of it, but your lip gets numb right up here. It's craziness what the bloom can do. Sometimes, like with the Basil Hayden, you don't get squat until you swallow it. That's why I don't like Basil Hayden. This one had a very, very slow bloom. This is 90 proof. I think I have that right. Yes, 90 proof. It has a very slow bloom. The ethanol burn on the tongue is very slow, but it does walk its way back. Not to the side, it walks its way back. Now let's see if I can get you some notes on flavors. Mouth feels very nice. For me, the thing that was most forward on that particular sip was the rye. That was the first thing I got. When it came across my tongue, the very first thing I got was the rye. On the palate, up above, I didn't get that. Up above on the palate, I got the bourbon notes. I got the caramel and the honey. Honey jumped out at me. Not getting mint on the pour like I did on the nose. Some honeycomb, maybe more accurate than honeycomb. It's got a little bit of that earthy sense that you would say out of honeycomb, but still the sweetness of the honey. Got to do it again. I can taste the oak. It's really nice. Very nice balanced pour. For something that they didn't have to source from anywhere else, it's its own product. There's nothing else like it. And I love that. There's other ones that I can say that about that this reminds me of. While it has similar notes to other things, like I'm getting that rye, I'm getting that honeycomb, I'm getting that caramel, that cinnamon, a little bit of that rye overtone. This is a 4-grain bourbon. So it's just going to be a little bit different. And it is different. And it's something that is unique and actually quite good. So now I'm getting the numbness right here on the inside of my lip. That normally doesn't happen with a 90 proof. And it doesn't drink like it's 90 proof. It drinks more like it's, I don't know, it's more than 80. Maybe 90's fair. All right, one more. Yeah, the balance in this is nice. I'm not going to tell you that it's overly complex. It isn't. I say that, but in some ways it really is. And it's not, okay, so like an Old Forester. Like it doesn't matter if I'm doing the 86 Old Forester or if I'm doing the 100 proof, but moreover the 1910 and the 1920 and the Whiskey Row series. Those I can taste and I continually get new notes, new flavors, new things happen. That's a very complex pour to me. This one is not the same way complex, but at the same time, because of the 4-grain mash bill, it's got different things going on in it that normally you don't sense together in the same pour. Whereas this one, it's kind of like a little bit of a rye and a bourbon and perhaps even a malted, a single malt, malted barley, like a Stranahan in one glass. It's almost like you're getting 3 different things in one glass. Now, the reason I poured myself another one, for those of you who don't get to see this very often, is now we're going to add water to it. The normal gauntlet that I run these through is to do it neat, then add a little water to it, and do it on ice. This particular one I'm not going to run on an ice sphere. I've not had the best track record running bourbons over ice. It just mutes the flavors too much, and they just don't come through it very well. The rye, on the other hand, which we are going to do next, that one I will do on the ice sphere. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Hey, Terry. Glad you're watching, man. Welcome to the show. I suppose I ought to do one of these little graphics so you can see. Is it still here? Is it still here? Oh, my graphics are gone. Doggone it. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. I had a lower third.
Sorry, I missed that. Could you...
I said sorry, and it thought I said Siri. That's funny. I had a lower third that was going to say who I am, but that's just me being a techie dork. All right. The photo that I took is out at my local archery club. Unfortunately, where I am, we don't have a lot of ranches. So I couldn't really give the idea of a ranch due diligence, but I did want it to be rustic. So, and this is beautiful bourbon. The point behind the page has always been to represent the brand in a way that is inspiring, right? So when I take my photos, I try to be inspiring about the brand because they put all this effort into marketing the brand, and I don't want to market against that, right? I'm here to help promote bourbons and help promote these brands. So anyway, I went out to the archery club. I'm a member of an archery club and went out and used some of their facility to take some photos. All right, so this is on water. Let's see how it opens up. That's interesting. The ethanol burn went away. You might expect that on water because it's only 90 proof, and I only added like maybe a quarter ounce of water, just a few drops. But the ethanol burn went away. The bloom went away. However, there's a new sense of like an aroma that's coming up through my nasal passages, and it's not like horseradish or something like that. It's because there's a place in Indianapolis that you eat the shrimp and it's got horseradish in the shrimp dip, and if you breathe, it hurts. It's not like that. St. Elmo's is the place. Amazing shrimp, but boy, oh my gosh, their shrimp sauce. You get it. Add ketchup to it. Trust me, just too much. I love horseradish. That's too much. All right, getting back to it. It kind of magnified everything a little bit. Not that anything was hidden before, but I'm still getting that nice balance of everything. I'm getting those bourbon notes, I'm getting those rye notes, I'm getting those single malt notes. Definitely a unique pour, and I really like it. And it's one that I will also be telling people about. Because if you're looking for something different, And I mean, I love a good bourbon. Those bourbon notes that are just so familiar and normal, I love them. And I really love them when they show up in a rye. I've had some awesome ryes recently, just unbelievable ryes. The Mayor Pingree from Detroit and the Buzzard's Roost, really tasty ryes. I got back into another rye 2 nights ago. I went back to the Alberta Premium, which is cask strength rye. It's 100% rye. And over time, it has started to evolve a little bit. It's giving me less of that die-hard, punch-you-in-the-face rye spice and a little bit more of some other things. So the pour I had the other night, I enjoyed a lot more than when I first cracked that bottle. I don't know, what has it been? 4 or 5 months ago? By the way, this is Bourbcast number 101. If you missed last week's, it was big. Big. We did a 42-year-old Jim Beam out of a decanter from the Mount St. Helens eruptions. And the bourbon, 42 years later, was still good. That is now a part of my prize collection. All right, one more of these. I don't know what that was. There's a new flavor that just hit me. Right on the sides of my tongue. I can't even tell you what it was. It was really good. Really flavorful. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what it was, and I don't know what it was. It wasn't earthy. Savory. It was in the savory category. Somewhere in the savory. Something hit me on... I don't know. We'll just say it was the sense of deliciousness. I can't think of anything better to tell you. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Kenneth is watching. Hey, Kenneth, how are you, man? I'm glad you're here. I'm KC. This is Beautiful Bourbon. It's all about the photographs, but we just got morphed into doing these broadcasts, these Bourbcasts, and they're just as much fun as taking photos. I really enjoy doing it. Don't do it for money. There's no money here. I buy all the bourbons. Nobody sends me anything. But, it's just fun. All right, now we're going to get into the rye. And I have a new Glencairn for the rye. Same story about the bottle. It's a very big looking bottle. It's only 750 milliliters. Has the same bronze recycled metal top, the same insignia, that's here in metal. That's actual metal in the glass. Beautiful label. Just really, really pretty thing. What we're doing here, the rye is a little different. This is a little higher proof. It's a 100 proof. It's bottled in bond. Okay, this is a actual bottled in bond 100 proof. Also, it is non-chill filtered, which I like, aged 5 years. And instead of a normal like 95% rye mash bill, this one is 100% rye. Nothing else in it. 100% what they called slow-growing winter cereal rye. So, and they do it, it's their own way of doing it. They add different things to the soil to get a better quality of rye rather than a larger quantity of rye. This is theirs. They seeded it, grew it, harvested it, distilled it, everything themselves, bottled it on site, no help from MGP or anywhere else. Now you might think that a craft thing like this, maybe they'd go with something safe as they're starting off their company and go with something from Lawrenceburg, but they wanted to do it their way from the start, and you got to respect that, and I do. I love it when somebody just says, I thought about this. What would it be like if I wanted to start my own distillery? What would I do? Well, I'd probably spend some time coming up with a logo, with a name, all those different things. And then I'd call MGP and say, hey, send me a barrel of hooch, and hope that it's good. And then, get my own. Probably what I would do. They went the hard way, which is indicative of, 136 years, or 165 years of being in the farming business. So they did it right. They did it better than I would ever do it. All right, so the rye, Winter cereal rye. The other thing that you need to know about Frey Ranch is they do have small quantities of a single barrel from time to time, and they can have several different single barrels out all at once. Their cask strength, in some cases, the latest batch was 132 plus proof. Not easy to get. Some of it is distillery only. If you want to have it, you have to go to the distillery to get it. They do send some out to some folks, but the chances of me ever seeing one of those probably pretty slim unless I go to Nevada. So, but I do like this, and it does have me wondering what the barrel strength would taste like, because this is an unusual pour in all the right ways. It's got a really nice and a lot of balance with the bourbon. Now we're going to try the rye. All right. That's interesting. With the bourbon, I caught rye notes on the nose right away. First thing I got. The rye, I'm not catching those typical rye notes on the nose right away. Let's go back to it, shall we? The rye spices are there. Clove, cinnamon. Gosh. Getting red hot candy. You know the red hot cinnamon candy? That's what I'm getting. How weird is that? It's only happened to me a few times. There's something else, something floral in it. There's a bit of a fruit aspect too. I want to say plum. Okay, here we go. Randy, welcome to the Bourbcast. Thank you for the inspiration to do this. And if you can get me a single barrel, I would be a very happy man. Thank you. So that is delicious. That rye is fantastic. There's no sugarcoating that. That rye is fantastic. First of all, beautiful mouthfeel, very buttery. That is fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, so it's not chill filtered, which I love. It does not drink like it's 100 proof. It just doesn't. It's much more sedate than that. It definitely has, oh gosh, just a slight more kick than the 90 proof bourbon. Set them beside each other again. This is another one of those ryes that it may be the area of the country where rye is grown. The premium, the Alberta premium, is from Alberta, Canada. And it's completely different. It's 100% rye. This is 100% rye. They are completely different. It may be the time of year. This is a winter wheat. I don't know what they have up in Alberta. This is another one of those ryes that's going to go down in history as one of the best ones I've ever tasted. Okay, I'm going to see if I can give you some actual notes instead of just, wow, it's goody, it's yummy. I'm going to see if I can give you something else. Golly. I get butter. I get chocolate, hazelnut, maybe a little walnut. I am not getting those typical grassy rye notes at all. A little vanilla popping through in the legs, The finishes on these are good. They're nice long finishes. My mouth is still watering minutes after I've taken my swallow. This is an outstanding rye. Just outstanding. You know, a lot of times a rye is good enough that I would say, let's put this in a cocktail. There are definitely ryes that are good for that. The Alberta rye is definitely good for that. I will tell you, as much as that's opening up and I'm liking it better, I'm still not a fan of the Alberta rye. This is really nice rye. Okay, I got to open it up. I have to travel tomorrow, so I don't want to end up getting. I just want to give it the tasting, give it the thing. All right. I might have trouble keeping myself out of this one, though. It makes me wonder what would happen if they brought the bourbon up to 100 proof. You're not doing much, you're not adding much, but it just makes me wonder, will the complexity of it go up as well? You don't have to make it a single barrel. I'm just curious what it would be like. All right. Yeah, I added water to it. Okay. Memories like the corner of my mind. Pulling cobwebs out of them. All right. A little water, opened it up. It didn't need much. The flavors in that are popping all over the place, but just adding a little bit of water did open it up, and it made the flavors, they're the same flavors. I'm not getting anything different. I'm not getting a different sense of the ethanol. It's like the whole thing, it's like putting a magnifying glass on it, and just kind of pulling it out and getting a little bit bigger picture. That's what adding water was like. It's a little bit bigger profile. It didn't need it to begin with, but just adding a drop or two of water, or 3 or 4. All right. Last but not least, I didn't want to do this with the bourbon, but I do want to see how the rye holds up to water. Will it need it? No, it doesn't need it. But if you're one of those guys that likes their stuff on ice, I talked to a guy today. I gifted him with one of those little quart bottles of 80 proof Jim Beam. He's a beer drinker. He does like Captain Morgan Spice rum, but he did a favor for me, and I wanted to do him a favor by getting him introduced to bourbon. And even that Jim Beam, he said he had to drink with soda pop. So, okay. Drink it how you like it. Okay, this is the rye. Me, I like the flavor of it. If I don't like bourbon, I'm not going to drink bourbon. There aren't very many spirits I don't like. There are versions of spirits I don't like cheap tequila. No. All right. Who we got? Larry's watching. Hey, Larry. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Bourbcast. Before I forget, we're on Facebook every Thursday at 7:30. I do this every Thursday. This is broadcast or Bourbcast number 101. We've done 100 different drinks. Sometimes it's bourbon, sometimes it's rye, sometimes it's single malt. We've done a couple of scotches through the years on like International Whiskey Day, things like that. We've done the Japanese whiskey. We've done Irish whiskey on St. Patrick's Day. We've done picklebacks. I like picklebacks. So, we spread it out. We don't just do bourbon. I've even done gin. I haven't done vodka yet, but I've done gins. We had a National Gin and Tonic Day. We did that. So, we skip around. The idea behind the site is just to introduce people to as many different types of things as we can. Sometimes I make cocktails. I'm not going to do it tonight because neither one of these need that at all. But some of them do, and I like to play with them. I like to play with the cocktails. One of the ones I've really started to like is a Sazerac with a little bit of absinthe in it, and a smoked bourbon too. I got a smoker. That's fantastic too. All right. So this is the rye on ice. I didn't do the bourbon on ice, but I will do the rye. Just cool it down a little bit. See what it does. Some things hold up nicely, other things don't. The flavors hold up very nicely. Just like every time you cool it down, the notes are muted somewhat. The flavor's still really nice on ice. So if you're one of these people that has to have their drink on ice, okay, fine, drink it how you like it. The flavors on that rye are going to stay. They're just going to stay there. Now, the more this ice sphere melts, and the ice sphere is going to melt a lot slower than a bunch of ice cubes in there because it has less surface area. One big cube has less all-around surface area than a whole bunch of little ice cubes, right? My sphere is twice the size of this. So this has essentially twice the surface area of that sphere. Does that make sense? It's going to melt slower because it's clear ice. Beautiful ice sphere. This is the Wintersmiths. It holds up. It's very good. And it would be really good in a cocktail, I will tell you. Old-fashioned Sazerac, really any type of cocktail where it's still very whiskey forward, it's going to be great. So should you? If you want to. Like I said, drink it how you like it. For me, that rye is fantastic just as it is. Again, right up in that echelon of my top 5 ryes, I think, as far as the uniqueness. Now, there are some ryes that I really like just because they're freaking good ryes. But there's other ones that I have on a different list that are so good because they're so unique, and this is one of them. I put this right up in that top 5. Right now it's a top 3, really. And that would be with the Mayor Pingree and the Buzzard's Roost. Now, Buzzard's Roost is sourced, and I think Mayor Pingree is too, at least to an extent. This isn't, and this is right up there with them. So if that tells you anything. I can recommend Frey Ranch. It's not as easy as just going down to the corner store and picking it up like a Jim Beam. If you are like me, it had to be ordered, had to be couriered. But in this case, I think the wait is worth it. I do like these. I like the rye better than the bourbon. The bourbon, though, mad props to it. It is its own product. It's got a interesting complexity with the 4 grains in it. I'd like to see what it would be like if it were a little higher proof. But it actually it packed more of a wallop than the 100 proof rye. It's funny, it had more of a bloom. Now, I tried the rye later, so maybe my palate was already ready to go. And if I had done the rye first, I might have felt differently about the palate on the bourbon. I might have been disappointed in the palate on the bourbon. But just the way it is, the bourbon to me packed a little bit more of a rye spice and a little bit more of an ethanol punch than the rye did. Both of them very flavorful. 4 grain mash bill, single grain. This is just 100% rye. Very unique products and really, really good. Definitely worth the wait if you decide to go with their courier service and have one shipped to you. And Randy, I'm sorry I waited so long to review these. These are really great, really fantastic pours. You would not guess that this is a craft distillery from Nevada. It's not a Kentucky bourbon. It's not a Kentucky rye. It's Nevada. But it's a great place in Nevada. It's temperate. They've really got something special going on here, and I hope it gets a lot more attention. And Randy, I know you're doing your work to get it the attention that it needs, and maybe we can too. Somebody's talking to me. Kevin, I got the Castle and Key Rye Barrel store pick from Gaze. Got to bring it for a cast. Yeah, you do. I don't know. Have you tried it yet? Is it good? Is it one of those that's going to hit my top 4? The Castle and Key, that is a gin I don't like. I have not tried their bourbon, but I did try a bourbon that was sourced from Castle and Key, and I don't remember what it was, but it was sourced from there. But I haven't had their actual product as far as the bourbons go. Somebody else is talking. No, they're not. So, all right, guys, we're on Instagram at Beautiful Bourbon. That's where the photos live. We're also online. I've got a blog. This video and this photo will go up on the blog probably either today or tomorrow. That's at beautifulbourbon.com. Of course, the Facebook page, we're here every Thursday at 7:30. Yeah, that's it. I tried to get us started in some other places, and it just hasn't. It's a lot of work to put this stuff up. It's a lot of work to do this, and this is just something I do for fun. So if I do too much of it and I get burned out, then I won't want to do it. So I don't want to get there. I just want to do a little bit, just enough to be fun, just enough to make me happy, enough to make you happy. Coming back week after week, see what I'm going to try. And I had it up here, and then I took it back downstairs what I was going to try next week. And I can't even tell you the name of it now. It's completely out of my brain. It's a 6-year. It's a Cleveland whiskey. Right gone. Round bottle. Overly expensive. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. You'll see next week. You'll find out when I find out. All right, guys and gals. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Thursday night. I do appreciate it. Again, every Thursday we're here. So come back and tell your friends about us. And again, I'm not asking anything from anybody. I'm not selling anything. I'm not making money. I'm not asking you to be my Patreon guys or, Facebook keeps saying, you should monetize this. You have enough viewers, monetize it. No, it's for fun. So tell people about it just because you're not going to be pressured into buying anything, if nothing else. So we'll see you next week, 7:30, when I do whatever it is I'm going to freaking do, because I don't remember what it was. And somebody's talking. Which batch of the bourbon and rye? The batch is on the side of the label. Yes. Thank you. Okay, Randy and Terry. And yeah, okay. So these... Other side. Nope. Okay. So this is batch number 5 on the rye. And batch number 4 on the bourbon. Okay. 4 on the bourbon, 5 on the rye. Since this is a kind of a craft distillery, I would assume that the batches are all going to be slightly different. That's generally the way it works with craft distilleries, and it makes it kind of fun. But it's not just craft distilleries. There's other ones that are known for their batches. Like Stag Junior, right? Certain batches are better than other ones. Larceny Barrel Proof. They didn't start getting good until the B521. Before that, they were kind of meh. But after B521, they kind of got their poop in the group. And the Larceny Barrel Proof became something, yeah. So maybe that's the same here, is that certain batches, Larry, certain batches are going to just continue to get better and better and better as they go. So I look forward to finding out, right? So, okay, guys, once again, we will see you next week, 7:30, right here on Beautiful Bourbon. I don't know what I'm doing, but we'll find out together next week. And in the meantime, just thank you very much and share the word. I do appreciate you coming. This is fun for me. I hope you had fun too. Take care.